What is up, everyone out there in internet land, and welcome to episode 464 of The Straight Shooters, available wherever podcasts are found. My name is Vaughn Johnson, and I'm joined as always by my main man, Pots and Pans, Nick Bacone of Crossing Broad, and we have yet another fantastic show ahead of us here on episode 464. It is a deep dive. We are diving deep into Judgment Day, as Jerry Lynn said in 2001. Judgment Day from 2000, though, the year prior to Jerry Lynn. Was that 2001 when Jerry Lynn said that?
Yes.
Yeah, the year prior, 2000, a far better outing for WWF than 2001. We're going to talk all about that. It happened 26 years ago, I think this week? Yeah, this week. 26 years ago this week. We were 3 days shy as we record this of the 26th anniversary of Judgment Day 2000. A lot of ground to cover there. But before we get into all of that, any of that, and the current day nonsense, I got to check in with my main man, Pots and Pans. Nick, how are you on this Monday afternoon, my good brother?
It's a hot Monday afternoon. What the hell are we doing with this weather again?
Well, Monday evening is still hot, but it's evening, I guess.
Dude, a heat wave? After we've been like weeks in the 60s and 70s, and now we're in the 90s for like 3 or 4 days. I don't, out of nowhere, like I like the cool kind of like April into May that we were having. I didn't have to use the AC that much. But, bam, yesterday on Sunday, it just started getting really hot all of a sudden. I'm like, what the hell? Let me check this weather. And, apparently it was supposed to be a heat wave, and I'm not a fan. So I'm looking forward to Thursday of this week when it's supposed to be back down to the 60s. Because, we're going back down to the 60s. So I don't know what's going on with this, but, just give me some cool weather, man. Like, I'm not a hot weather guy, so...
It's almost like having extreme weather patterns. It's almost like having extreme weather is bad. I wonder why that happens.
Yeah, feels like it.
When you go from one day being 95 and then it rains and it goes down to 61. And like it was like in the 60s last week. I was wearing a jacket. I was feeling good. And then it got to 95 90-something yesterday. It's 95 today. It's going to be 97 tomorrow. What the hell is going on around here? It's hell. Ridiculous. I guess it's hot.
And it's not even a gradual climb to it. It's just like, hey, we're in the 90s.
We haven't seen any 80s. Or any 70s, really.
BS.
90s.
BS. Don't like it. I don't like it.
Hey, there's other things. There's other things going on. We got the Phillies are above 500, right? Are they above 500?
Yeah, they are. One game above 500. I think they did it. They either tied or broke the athletic streak back in 2002, where they were like 8-18, but they wound up becoming an above 500 team before Memorial Day. Hey, the Phils were 9-19, and now they're above 500 before Memorial Day. So, honestly, I don't know what the reason is, but they're playing great baseball and they're fun to watch. It's been a while. Even last year, it was like a chore to watch them, and they won 96 games. The year before, they started off real hot. And then played 500 baseball basically half the season after that.
And then lost in the
and so like those 2 years, not very. Well, last year was better. It was more exciting because they were winning games, and it's like, all right, we're just kind of waiting for the playoffs. Now, they have to win these games just to get into playoff positioning. They're still not even close to a playoff spot. I think they're like four games away from the wild card. So they still got quite a few games to pick up here. But again, it's May, middle of May. Plenty of time.
Lots and lots of time. It helps when you play the Pirates, too, over the weekend.
The Pirates were not having a bad season. I don't think anyone thought they would sweep them, but they did. They went down 6-0 to the Pirates Friday night, and I'm like, here we go. One of those games that you just chalk up as a loss because they don't have a clutch gene to come back. And what did they do? They came back and won in an extra innings. That was crazy. And then they just shut it out. 6-0, 6-0, Saturday, Sunday, back-to-back. Like, off Paul Skeens, too, on Sunday. Bryce Harper going yard. Yeah, the vibes are a lot better than they were just 1 month ago.
Well, it's good to have some type of good vibes around here besides how hot it is. Because it's tough right now. Let's get into the current day nonsense of the world of pro wrestling. Since we last recorded, we lost a very influential figure in the world of pro wrestling and beyond pro wrestling. That is Ted Turner, who died at the age of 87. And again, we as wrestling fans know him as the wrestling tycoon that bought WCW and kind of sparked a war between WCW and WWF and beat Vince McMahon for a little while there until things went left. But he had Vince McMahon all mad. Oh, man, he was so heated at Ted Turner. Hated Ted Turner. He had more money, and he was winning. That's why he had those billionaire Ted skits, because he hated Ted Turner. But Ted Turner did a lot of things. Obviously, he started 24 Hours News Networks, which, I mean, I don't know what's a more influential thing on society at this point when it comes to 24-hour news networks and how the 24-hour news cycle has changed our world in a lot of ways. And maybe we would have inevitably got there anyway, because look at how technology has evolved. But it started with CNN. Remember back in the day, the news would, like, TV would shut off. It would go off the air. But Ted Turner was influential in creation of, like, the Superstation of TBS and having that go across the country and cable and really revolutionized TV, helped, bring the Olympics to Atlanta, and not say he was the leader behind that, but I'm sure he's a part of it. The Olympic Stadium was Turner Field, so I'm sure he had something to do with it. Obviously owned the Braves and the Hawks and all these TV networks that helped wrestling.
Worst thing he ever did, own the Braves.
Well.
Make me hate him.
Well, that's fair. Well, at least And speaking of the Braves, Bobby Cox also died recently as well, who managed the team for a long time and a bunch of division titles with the Braves. Won one world championship in '95, but they won how many was it? Like 12, 13 division titles in a row or something like that.
Yeah, maybe even more.
Until I think the Phillies won in '07. That's what broke it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was insane. It was like from '93 to like 2006. They won every year or something like that. But he also donated $1 billion to the United Nations. It was insane stuff because he thought that having the countries actually talk to each other in a peaceful manner helped the world. Who knew? But yeah, obviously in the world of pro wrestling, he is massively influential. And as far as going live every week, obviously, it's the stories that Eric Bischoff asked for it. Like, what do we need, to compete with Vince? And Eric Bischoff was like, give me the live TV or whatever. And eventually it happened. They got 2 hours live, and it forced WWF to do the same thing. They would go monthly pay-per-views. WWF had to do the same thing with In Your House. So he definitely helped push the business in a direction that Vince McMahon had to keep up with WCW. And eventually, it all worked out for Vince, obviously. But no one had pushed Vince to that type of limit other than at least Ted Turner's money. I wouldn't say Ted Turner himself. He wasn't booking the territory like Vince was. And he wasn't necessarily hands-on with every decision. That was Eric Bischoff and whoever else was in charge of the company at that point. But he fronted the money, though, and he wanted it to be successful. He liked wrestling. He knew how much wrestling helped his networks get ratings. Like WCW back in the day used to be some of the highest rated stuff on the Superstation. So it's I want wrestling on my network because people watch it. So Eric Bischoff, do what you got to do, but get Hulk Hogan, do what you got to do. But we're gonna get some people to watch, and they did. So Ted Turner passed away again recently at the age of 87. Nick, I don't know if you had anything on Ted Turner before we kind of move on there.
You said a lot of what I was thinking. He, the first guy to really give Vince a run for his money when Vince went national. There was nobody. All the smaller territories just couldn't keep up, and they were losing their talent to Vince. And Ted Turner was like, "Well, I'll be the other option. So if you don't want to go to Vince, we got a spot for you here," and just continually allowing programming to blossom, on his networks, obviously Nitro on Monday nights, going head to head with Raw, which was funny because a lot of people probably thought Vince was, committing some type of crime by going against Monday Night Football in '93. Because they had primetime wrestling, but it was certainly not as hyped as, on a weekly basis as Monday Night Raw was. especially when their whole thing was, oh, we're live every Monday night, and then not even at the end of '93 were they taping basically a month's worth of shows in one night, and they were only live like once a month. You know, Ted Turner, he was just like he knew he wasn't the smartest guy in the room when it came to wrestling. He just knew that it was valuable, like you said. So it's basically like, yo, tell me what I need to do, and tell me what you want to do, and I'll have your back. And that's what he did. And without him, obviously, wrestling wouldn't be the way it is today. And I've said before, I prefer wrestling back, the way it was when I was growing up. Just, the way it was booked. And like today, we have so many of the things I don't like when it comes to in-ring style of wrestling. And that's not necessarily something Ted Turner, like you said, he wasn't booking the territory, but I'm just reminded of that part of my wrestling fandom when Ted Turner was like really involved and stuff like that. Like why WCW became a go-to destination that nobody ever thought that would happen. Like Hulk Hogan went there and it still wasn't exactly a go-to destination. It was the advent of the NWO, like Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hogan eventually turning heel that made what I think most of us love about pro wrestling today, just of what could be. So I don't know if we'll ever get that again. And now the business is so exposed anyway that, I doubt any new fans that are young coming up will ever really view it the way we did when we grew up, because they have access to knowing exactly what's happening if they want it, when we didn't really have that, So, that's when I think about Ted Turner, I just think about WCW and the Monday Night War, really. And, hopefully, WWE is not owned by Vince McMahon now, but, we have AEW versus WWE. And to me, it just doesn't feel the same because a lot of it is similar in both companies in terms of like wrestling and in-ring style. Obviously, AEW, their style is more risque, I guess you could say, or just risky. And I don't know why I said risque. That's not the context I wanted to use it in. I could have just said risky. So in terms of just like the moves, and you could just see just like Will Ospreay needing like a year off for surgery and stuff like that. Just what they put their bodies through. Obviously, WWE has people that do that as well. We're obviously like Randy Orton's back injury that never healed, apparently cropped up again. So he's reportedly taking time off for that, even though he did respond and saying he's just on vacation. But I kind of expected that. But I don't even know why I'm going down that rabbit hole. But just when I think about Ted Turner, like, I think about a lot of my growing up fandom and how it shaped me into the wrestling fan I eventually became, and allowed me to really, like, when I was watching it in the mid 90s to late 90s, I didn't, like, as a kid, I'm just like, oh, like, whatever. And it's funny, like, now I appreciate that more because it's really what grabbed my attention more than the wrestling does today. So, and Ted Turner was a big part of that. So, rest in peace to him.
Yeah, and it goes to show like how much competition helps. Not a lot of things, but definitely it helped pro wrestling, for sure. It made pro wrestling better.
To his credit,
because WCW had that level of investment.
To his credit, Eric Bischoff was a good hire for him, in terms of going against Vince. And it's funny that Eric really probably felt short-sighted. Like Vince was always worried about Ted, and Eric wanted Vince to be worried about him because he was the one, making the deals and doing all this. And but Ted made a good move in hiring Eric Bischoff in '93 as the executive producer, and it flamed out, but I don't think it wouldn't have. Like, I think everything's got a shelf life. Even a lot of WWF and WWE went through a bunch of changes too. It's just they've endured. I think WCW could have possibly endured if Vince wasn't the buyer in 2001. It'd be a lot different today if Bischoff and his group were able to purchase WCW. But like, I don't want to live too much around that. But it was, Ted made a lot of good maneuvers to get us to love wrestling and really feel like the winner. Where like today, I don't think we feel like a winner in wrestling. Like it's not like we get great shows from WWE and AEW. It's either like one or the other at this point. It's like they can never both be as hot as they were in the '90s, So
it'd be nice. But moving on from that, we have an event that's been announced, but no one knows what it is. Not even the namesake, the person that the event is named after, is totally sure what it is. And that is the John Cena Classic. What is it? It's a tournament. For what? Some type of title that John Cena is going to create? How is the winners determined? I'm assuming by wins and losses, but there's a fan vote aspect where you could still somehow be like voted like some type of like, I guess, given recognition for being good, but not necessarily winning. You don't have to necessarily win to get over in this tournament, I guess. There's no venue, no date, no talent, no structure. None of that's announced. But it's going to happen at some point.
Like, what the hell?
I don't know. But
cool.
Get ready. We have the King, Queen of the Ring happening, I would assume, at some point over the summer, and at some point later in the year, I guess, once they figure this all out, will be the John Cena Classic. Maybe it's December when he retired, like the same time period. I don't know. Could happen that way.
I think I would have preferred the Club WWE announcement of what that exactly means.
You know what they're probably going to do, though? Now that you mention it, they're probably going to have people, like, in order to vote in this tournament, you got to sign up for Club WWE.
Are you going to sign up?
No. What? I'm sorry. I don't know why I had that visceral reaction to that. Like, well, why?
I feel like
I haven't even looked into what the perks would be of being
a
member of Club WWE. So, without knowing the perks, maybe if I saw the perks, like, ooh, maybe it's worth it. But I doubt it. Like,
they have like
can I still watch wrestling whenever I want on Netflix? Then that's all I need, bro. I don't need anything else from y'all. I'm sorry.
I just remember seeing these ads in the WWF magazine where if you became a part of the WWF fan club, you get like a cassette player with all the theme songs and a pencil and a cup and all this awesome stuff. So I want that from Club WWE, and then I might think about it.
Look, I've seen at least a YouTube video where I saw a person who traveled, who used like the On Location. I don't know if you know what On Location is, but it's like it's pretty much a travel agency, and they book people's like flights and hotels for major events. I think they got like, I don't know if they have a monopoly, but they do not only WrestleMania, but they've done Super Bowls. And I know that because I've dealt with them for the Super Bowl before. That's the first time I've heard of On Location. So apparently through that, you can book, your travel, your flight, and they can, book everything for you just like any other type of travel agency would for WrestleMania. But the stuff that they give you as like, welcome, here's like a little welcome package. It's like, at least for Vegas this year, it was like a deck of cards and like some poker chips. I don't know if that had any value to them. So like, you expecting anything is, that's something else, because those people pay thousands of dollars and they got a deck of cards, bro, like with the WrestleMania logo on it. So, don't get your hopes up, I should say. But yeah, John Cena Classic. What is it? I don't know. We'll find out together, I guess, some point later in the year. What we do know is that WWE is adding more house shows, which I think is smart.
Oh, really? I didn't hear about this one.
They added 10 over the summer in a couple small towns. Not really small towns, I shouldn't say that. But I know they're hitting like shows in like towns like New Hampshire is one of them.
Okay.
Let me look up the list real quick. I should probably have it up before I start talking about it.
They usually don't go for TVs?
Probably, including Allentown, PA.
Ah, love it.
They're going to be in Allentown on Thursday, July 16th. They're calling it the WWE Summer Tour. So they're hitting Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Wow, that took a lot of brain trust.
I mean, come on. This last-minute slapdash together Summer Tour.
Heat Wave was right there. I know NXT uses it, but
right.
Whatever.
And obviously, that's nothing to do with the ECW lineage, but, it's got a lot of history behind that. But they're going to Albuquerque, they're going to Stockton, California, Bakersfield, California, Springfield, Illinois, Fairfax, Virginia, Manchester, New Hampshire. That's what I was talking about, New Hampshire. Savannah, Georgia, and Charleston, South Carolina. So That's over the course of July and August. So a lot of towns. Good for you guys for getting the show. I think that's the one of the many I think aspects or I guess what's the word I'm looking for? After effects, I guess, of taking away so many house shows is that there's a lot of cities out there that just don't get WWE anymore when they were used to, probably on an annual basis, even if it was just a house show. But also, I think it definitely helps the younger talent get more experience. I'm not saying they should be on the road 250 days a year, but maybe you find some sort of happy medium, because I feel like they need the reps, right? Like right now, if you're on SmackDown or on Raw, you're only wrestling probably once a week, which for wrestling, that's absurd. Like usually doing 4 or 5 days a week, but like one day a week you work TV and that's it. That's where you get the reps for your younger talent. I'm sure that's great for like a Roman Reigns and a Finn Balor and the older guys who have taken their share of bumps. They don't need to add to them frivolously, but your young guys need the reps. Obafemi needs the reps. Trick Williams could use the reps. Javon Evans, like they got talent. Sol Ruka, like talent that, you're going to push them as big stars, but they'll get there a lot quicker if they started doing some loops here and there. I'm not saying they got to do them all the time, but at some point they got to get back out there and do some more wrestling than what they do now. So I think I think they added 10 shows. It's a good start, but do period, maybe quarterly, like maybe you do one tour per quarter or something like that for 10 days or whatever, how long it is. I'm saying you don't have to do it all the time, not even monthly, but like you have a summer tour, you have a fall tour, you got a winter tour, and maybe a spring tour, like the 4 seasons. There you go. And they could be international. I know they do international tours when they do like Clash in Italy. They're going to do a tour probably of Italy and maybe the surrounding countries or something like that. I get that. But maybe that's your spring tour, whatever. But I think they should do it periodically throughout the year.
And I forgot how much I missed just like seeing random clips of house shows on my social media feed, where it just be like, oh, that's cool, I feel like obviously we don't see that, and it always felt like a cool thing that would happen during a house show that wasn't meant to be seen, but they knew that people are probably taking video of this, so let's give them a show, and it'll wind up on social media. And I just miss stuff like that, give them some meaning that's not always in front of the TV camera or like pay-per-view camera.
Yeah, I think Cody Rhodes pitched an idea on his podcast. I forget where I heard this, where he was like, let's make the house shows totally different from TV. Like we mix it up, we have fun. It's like a totally different production, and maybe that's your draw as far as a house show. And maybe that's how you protect talent, and maybe you could do something fun. It's like I won't say an alternate universe, but like something to that extent where it could just be fun and you just have fun with the house show and it's not canon. Obviously that might change whether you do title changes on house shows, but like, because those are always fun too when they happen every now and then. But I feel like there's some value to doing them, not just for the fan, obviously, to see live wrestling, but for the talent as well. Even the experienced talent, they can try different things on the house shows untelevised. Maybe to work on something, but I think it's good to see them come back at least this summer,
especially with the TV the way it is now. It's like, please give me something different.
No, that's fair. But moving on, we do have a couple big shows happening this weekend.
I totally forgot about this. I'm not gonna lie. This is crazy. We got both this weekend.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, unless I'm tripping, I thought Double or Nothing was this weekend.
No, I remember. I think I was watching SmackDown or something, and the ad for Saturday night's main event came up for the 23rd, and I looked at my dad. I was like, "What?" Like, obviously, he doesn't know, but I'm like, "Since when?" So yeah, kind of. We have that, and then we have Clash in Italy. It's like, didn't we just have Backlash? What the hell's going on?
Yes, we do have Double or Nothing happening May 24th.
Oh, that too. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sunday.
Double or Nothing. Ugh. Sunday, May 24th. So let's go back to Saturday night's main event, I guess, since that's first. He said, ugh.
We had like 3 WWE events in a row. It's crazy. Like Backlash, and then Saturday night's main event, and then Clash in Italy, the 31st. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. There's only 3 matches announced for Saturday night's main event.
Of course there are.
It will be a tag team match for the World Tag Team titles. Logan Paul, well, the Vision, I should say, not Logan Paul and Austin Theory. The Vision versus the Street Profits. We got an IC title match. Ethan Page challenging Penta.
Make this a tag team match.
We got a 6-woman tag team match player. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss against Jade Cargill, Michin, and B-Fab. I wonder who's going to win that one. But, yeah, that's Saturday night's main event if you're curious as to what's going to happen there.
Not on NBC.
Yeah, only on Peacock. Not on NBC. But, yeah, there's that. That's happening in Fort Wayne, Indiana, by the way.
Oh, man.
I did not know.
Isn't that where they had Hogan versus Andre?
Could have been.
I think it was
easily have
Indiana.
been.
It might have not been Fort Wayne, but...
Fort Wayne, Indiana. Then, of course, we got Double or Nothing on Sunday. So strap in. It's going to be a 6-hour show, I'm sure.
Is that Darby versus MJF?
Yes, and it's hair versus title.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool.
if MJF loses,
Oh, no.
he got to go bald, baby, like Kurt Angle. You going to wear a wig or no? What you going to do? MJF
I've
is
never
gonna
seen
win.
that
He's
before.
not losing his hair.
I've never seen this stipulation before, so I'm excited.
I mean, they do mass versus mass matches in Mexico. They've been doing it for a century. Like, it's fine. Like, people still like it, you know. People still like it. And MJF's going to win. So don't worry. He should have probably, I mean, look, I think Darby Allin's title run in a vacuum is actually a lot of fun. And I think it's a good story to tell that he's defending the title too much and he's getting beaten and battered. But it's like, and when you kind of pull back and it's like, wait a second. MJF, if he wins the title back and he goes into All In, which is still in August, still a ways away, but he's supposed to be like the conquering champion, I guess, by that point, I would assume. Will Ospreay going to beat him? And then, but of course he's going to probably beat him because he's lost to Brody King in 5 seconds. He lost to Darby Allin in 5 seconds. And if he beats Darby Allin again, it's partly because Darby Allin's so damn banged up. So, like, I don't know if they've helped MJF with this. I think he can obviously recover. He can bounce back, but I just feel like I don't know. And if you're going to do Ospreay versus MJF in Wembley, which I think again should be the main event, I don't know. I don't know how it's being told so far. I think it's the right match, but the road getting there is a little tough. But I fully expect.
Hey, that's Brian Isley's AEW right there.
It's not all bad. I'm not saying it was like terrible. It's just that I don't love how they've gotten to this point. I feel like they could have done something different to, for one, I think also build up Ospreay better instead of him learning from the Death Riders. Like he's learning from John Moxley. It's like, didn't John Moxley try to kill you? And now you learning from him? Okay, never mind. Never mind, man. But we do have some Owen Hart Cup matches. Will Ospreay is in one against Samoa Joe. Bandito, Swerve Strickland. That should be a lot of fun. Willow Nightingale, Alex Windsor for the women's side. We also got a Stadium Stampede. There's a lot of people involved in this. I think it's 7-on-7, which is kind of insane. You got on one side
football practice.
I mean, look, 7-on-7 drill. That's flag football. Yeah, this is a whole flag football game right here. But you got on the babyface side, you got Chris Jericho, or just Jericho. My bad. It's not Chris anymore. Sorry, Chris Johnson. You're just Johnson now.
No Chris is allowed.
No Chris is allowed here. Jericho, the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. The Elite, which is Kenny Omega, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Jungle Jack Perry.
When did they all
Just
become
like-
faces? What the hell?
I didn't know Jack Perry was technically in the Elite. I knew that was Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. And you get the Golden Elite with Kota Ibushi. Where did Jack Perry come from, as far as the Elite is concerned? But whatever. They're going against the Demand and the Don Callis family, a combination of the two. So you got the Demand, of course, is Ricochet, Bishop Khan, Toa Leona. And of the Callis family will be Mark Davis, Andrade El Idolo, and the Dogs, Clark Connors, and David Finlay. So that should be a rousing good time, I guess. They're going to fight all over Louis Armstrong Stadium, which is, I believe I heard it was sold out. I'm not sure about that, but I know they've sold a good amount of tickets to Louis Armstrong Stadium, which is on the grounds of the U.S. Open, where they've held Grand Slam in the past at Arthur Ashe Stadium, the bigger and most notable stadium on those grounds. But Louis Armstrong Stadium is like the number 2 stadium on those grounds, a little bit smaller, which should make for a good atmosphere, I think, for AEW. But yeah, there's a lot going on there. We also got FTR versus Edge and Christian for the tag titles. Is it not for the tag? Is it for the tag titles? Man, I can't remember anything now. Yes, it is for the tag titles. Jesus. FTR are the tag team champions. Am I correct in that? Yes. It's an I Quit match, too. A tag team I Quit match.
Wow.
All right? Tag team I Quit match. I don't know if both people have to say I quit or what, but we'll see. And, of course, I forgot to mention that we got Okada versus Takeshita for the International Championship, which that should be an incredible match. That should be a great one. I don't really care about the international title at this point, though. I just want to see them wrestle each other. Like, the belt don't even have to be there for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Just give me Okada and Takeshita, and I'm good. So, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be an incredible night of wrestling and a long one, given AEW's history on pay-per-view. But it should be fun. It's usually a good night. It's usually a lot of good matches. And based on that card, with those Owen Hart Cup matches, too, I think we're going to see some bangers at Double or Nothing. What we're not going to see is a wedding at Double or Nothing, but we did see that recently with Io Sky and Evil / Naraku. That's how you say that in NXT now? Naraku? Evil from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Him and Io Sky have
start watching these shows with the sound on.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually like watching the Phillies or something, and I just have it on the screen. But
same.
I wouldn't know.
And I just haven't heard
to pronounce that.
Just haven't heard, but I know how to say Io Sky. So congratulations to both of them as they are married. I feel like I've heard for a while that they were together, but I don't know if they really like publicly announced anything. But here they are.
Yeah.
They are married. So, and now they work for the same company.
And Io and Asuka had the blow off as well. So
yeah,
Asuka's going back to Japan for a bit.
I guess.
I don't think they officially said she's done, right? I haven't seen anything, but
she's probably just going to sit down somewhere. Been at it for a while, in wrestling, obviously. Speaking of another grizzled vet, like
this came out of
we
nowhere.
got Baron Corbin potentially, reportedly, being talked about internally, which is a funny report, but. According to Fightful Select, he could be on his way back potentially. Like this, it's been discussed, which is like I would assume he's on his way back to be like another Matt Cardona.
We need Happy Corbin back because that was his best gimmick.
No, it was not. No, it was not. It was
like
definitely
the bad luck
wolf.
And then the good luck. Man, I love that. That was hilarious. I need
bum ass Corbin was funny.
Madcap Moss back. You know, I need that.
Bum ass Corbin was fun. Pat McAfee, that was hilarious. Pat McAfee will call him bum ass Corbin. I'm not gonna lie, but no, it's Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. Okay, that's the guy with the theme music.
Doesn't do anything for me.
That song, bro. Just the interest alone was fire. So I would assume if they did bring him back, it wouldn't be to give him a big run. You know, like you're gonna be a world champion one day, kid. I'd assume. It's to help get people like Opa Femi over, Braun Breaker, and the next generation of people over. And he's got some credibility, and he's got size, and he can still work. Yeah, I think WWE needs to keep certain people on the roster who are just going to lose matches and get people over. I feel like they let people go a lot of times. It's people that like, okay, you may not have plans for, but like you need people to lose. And I feel like a guy like Baron Corbin, who I'm not saying can never win a world title or never win even an IC title, but I feel like if I'm signing Baron Corbin, it's not to give him either one of those. It's to help get the next generation of talent over, whether that's on the main roster or even in NXT. So that's what I would be looking to use him for. But look at that, Baron Corbin.
Yeah. Brian definitely wants him at AEW.
I'm surprised he hasn't landed there, honestly.
He's done a few indies, right?
He's done a lot of indies. Yeah, he's been working. He's been working, and
he's not, he's not rusty. So.
No, he's been working. I've seen clips of him putting in work out there. So, maybe that's part of the.
Did he grow his hair back out, or is he still bald?
No, he's still bald. Once it goes, it's got to be gone, bro. And the hair, I remember what he looked like in 2016 before he cut the hair. 2015, the hairline was a little rough back then. All right, and that's now like 10 years ago, and there's no shame in it.
He basically would look like Hogan if he grew that out.
It might, bro. No shade though. Like I'm just saying, like it is what it is. That's why he cut it, because like it's getting bad up here. Let me fix this. He didn't want to look like Hogan and Suburban Commando. Like, he didn't want to do that, so he cut it. Which I think is the smart way to go. So we'll see what happens there. But enough of the current day nonsense. Nick, are you ready to dive deep into Judgment Day from 2000?
This is season 2, episode 1.
Oh yeah,
Judgment Day. So let's do it.
Let's do it. Judgment Day 2000 took place on May 21st, 2000, and the show emanated from Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. Make sure I said that right. Louisville, not
like
Louisville.
Not like Christian.
Yeah, not Louisville, Louisville, Kentucky. The building, Freedom Hall, is still in operation to this day as it's part of the Kentucky Exposition Center. That building officially opened in 1956, and it was a home to the Louisville Cardinals men's and women's basketball teams until 2010, when they moved into, I believe it's the KFC Yum Center. Well, it is the KFC Yum Center now, but that's where they moved to. That Freedom Hall was also home to, and I know this, I'm on it, not an arena football team.
Oh, man.
An AF2 team.
I'm sorry?
Because, the Louisville Fire of AF2, which was a developmental league for the Arena Football League.
Oh, wow.
So, yes, the AFL had a developmental league, which is insane to say today. But it's true. Yes, it is true.
Man.
To think about that. Think about how insane that is. That essentially a developmental league had a developmental league. But because it's such a different game, and look, back in those days, arena football players are getting paid good money, like 6 figures. So if you're going to develop, you need guys to be developed to play arena football to play now. How do you develop them? Start a whole new league, of course. Of course. Pay them like $400 a game, and it'll work. It did not work. Among other things, in the indoor football world, it did not work. But Louisville, of course, has a lot of wrestling history attached to it, but not so much in Freedom Hall. That history belongs to the Louisville Gardens, Louisville Gardens, which had been hosting wrestling every Tuesday night during the territories. But as of 2025, it is being turned into a soundstage for movies and commercials. So that's what's happening to the Louisville Gardens.
So I was wondering when I was watching this, I was like, wait, Louisville, they're in, and I remember, like, the thing that sticks out about the Gardens is, like, the ceiling to me, like, whenever WWF would have shows there, and I was like, this looks different. I was like, yeah, it's not the same place.
Yeah, different building.
I was surprised that they did that, but...
Freedom Hall, however, has been usurped as the main building in Louisville by the KFC Yum Center, like I said earlier. And yes, it's called the KFC Yum Center. YUM Yum. The current home of Louisville basketball. So, but where are we in 2000? Whew. In the middle or at the beginning of a red hot summer for WWF. I feel like we've talked about King of the Ring already, but we're just at the beginning of this summer. This is the second Judgment Day since 1998. But notice I didn't, this is the second annual Judgment Day. But notice I didn't say the third annual because WWF skipped this event in 1999. They didn't do Judgment Day in 1999 in May. They did Over the Edge. And obviously, we know what happened there. And they did not run it again the next year. They didn't do Over the Edge. What did they replace it with? Judgment Day. Yikes. We can't do Over the Edge because somebody unfortunately tragically died. So to be in better taste, we won't call it Over the Edge. We'll just call it Judgment Day. That's what it was, man. But we are also in the midst of one of the many brief title reigns from The Rock. For as famous as The Rock is in and out of wrestling, his title runs as like world champion were never all that special. As remarkable as that sounds, his most memorable title run is probably the one sort of he had from like late 98 into 99 when he defended it at WrestleMania, but even that was interrupted multiple times by Mankind. So it's not even like one singular title reign. You kind of just look at it as like an era of his career more than a single title reign. But The Rock won the WWE/F Championship 8 times. He held it for a combined 373 days. It's barely more than a year. Combined. His longest reign was from June 2000, which, spoiler, he wins the title back, King of the Ring. And he loses it at Judgment Day. He held it from June 2000 through October 2000, which, no mercy, He lost to Kurt Angle. That was for 118 days. That's his longest title reign. Remember the time he won the Undisputed title in 2002? Before he lost it to Brock?
Yep.
He had it for 34 days. When he lost to Steve Austin at WrestleMania 17, he had that title for 34 days. His last title run in 2013 when he beat CM Punk and lost to John Cena at WrestleMania, 69 days. Nice.
Wow.
His first title run, technically, is his third longest. That was 50 days. But let's not forget, he also won the WCW title twice in 2001. His longest run was for 62 days. And the other one was for 33, so a total of 95 days, bringing his total days as world champion of wrestling to 468 days.
Is
That's
he
pretty
remembered
wild.
more as a WCW champion than a WWF champion?
I mean,
Can you imagine
if you go
that?
by the days, if you go by the number of days, it's up there. But it's really kind of wild to think about. When you think about how like illustrious of a career, and man, he's a goats, and that people will put him on a Mount Rushmore, and of course, he's obviously super famous and wildly successful, and pretty much every endeavor that he's ever done, and yet he's barely held that championship for more than a year, it's just, or any world title. I don't know what that tells you. I guess it's like he's just so over, it didn't matter. But not everybody's that over. I would like to think that Roman Reigns holding the belt for 1,300 days helped him get more over, right? But it helps certain people. Maybe it doesn't help everybody, but it didn't matter for The Rock because he was just, I guess, so over that he had so much charisma and riz that it didn't matter. He was still The Rock at the end of the day, and he got the belt for literally 33 days, and people would not bat an eye. But surprisingly, his title win at Backlash the month prior, was his first title win as a babyface. Like, you feel like, yeah, it should have happened at WrestleMania, but like, me personally, I'm happy it happened at Backlash because I actually watched that show on pay-per-view. And it was the only one I watched all year, and it had the best ending. So, sorry to everybody who ordered WrestleMania that year. I got the better ending.
I remember just being like shocked that WrestleMania ended that way, and I was like, "This sucks." I was so mad.
I'm sure it was pretty tough to watch, especially after all the shenanigans with the McMahons and everything else that led up to it. It just then The Rock didn't win. What the hell? Or Triple H just lose something,
Right.
You know, but whatever.
It's like Big Foley or The Rock, please, not the Big Show, please.
not the Big Show. But since he won it at Backlash, and there's this great climactic, ending where the game is over, right? Triple H had finally lost. And so that means The Rock is about to go on a long babyface run, right? Because this is WWF. This is Vince McMahon. He is not the type that usually leaves the title on the heel for a long time. It's the opposite. He usually leaves on the babyface for a long time. It creates like a Saturday morning cartoon effect. Everything's built around Hogan. Everything's built around Ultimate Warrior. It's built around Bret Hart. It's built around Shawn Michaels. Like, even Diesel, when he was champion, he was babyface. But not The Rock, apparently. Not so fast, my friend. because he's got to get through Triple H and the McMahon-Helmsley faction. And he has to do that by virtue of the second ever Iron Man match. 60 minutes, most pinfalls win. He also has to worry about Shawn Michaels, because he's the special guest referee, and of course, very good friends with Triple H. Where the hell Shawn Michaels been, by the way? What the hell's going on with him? Well, he's firmly in the midst of a retirement that eventually became an extended sabbatical. But at this point, while we know he's done, he's firmly out of the ring. But we know that eventually he would return, and he wrote this incredible second chapter to his career. In 1999, he's still kind of struggling to adjust to life after wrestling, because again, he is done. He is firmly in life after wrestling. He didn't get that far from wrestling, though, as he opened up his own wrestling school, the Texas Wrestling Academy, in 1999. I think in one of the vignettes that they showed leading up to this, he's actually wearing a TWA shirt in one of them. That school was only open until 2001, but it is credited with producing wrestlers like the late Lance Cade, Paul London, Brian Kendrick, and a guy you might have heard of by the name of Bryan Danielson. I don't know if you know him.
I think I know him. I've heard of him.
Yeah, one of those guys that's lost to time. I don't know. I don't know if you know him. But what else? What else we got going on? Remember last time we talked about like the Attitude Era? We did Backlash 99, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about WWF's mid-card. And how ass it was, to be totally honest with you. Well, boy, did it improve by this point in 2000. Because on this show, we got Kurt Angle, we got Edge, we got Christian, we got Eddie Guerrero, we got Perry Saturn, we got Dean Malenko, we got Chris Jericho, we got Benoit. So many people, so many talented people. Where were Val Venus and Hardcore Holly?
Oh, no.
Literally watching monitors. Both of them. Right? What else we got going on? We got strange vignettes with little girls saying demonic stuff. When I was watching this in 2000, I had no idea what the hell's going on here. Like, is this a new horror movie character about to debut? Obviously we'd find out later on, but I had no idea it had to do with a biker. Like, all that for a biker? Where them two little girls come from? Where their parents at? Saying all this demonic stuff on TV. This is crazy. But, Nick, what about you? What do you remember about the lead up to Judgment Day in 2000?
So I was heading into the final month of my freshman year of high school. And I just remember, I love the fact that, the Radicals came over from WCW, because I was like totally down on WCW at this point. Vince Russo went over there in late 99, and I was just like maybe they'll start doing stuff that would get my attention again, but they never really quite did. And then it just became, kind of like a sideshow to me. So WWF, I still watch WCW, but I watch WWF for my wrestling fix. I didn't watch WCW for wrestling at this point because, it was Vince Russo and he's not known for wrestling. So I would kind of just watch it and be like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Just kind of my reason for just giving up on WCW. So WWF was really all I had. ECW was, not it in 2000. They were on TNN too, but they also had the weekly show on, local TV, WGTW, and it just still wasn't the same. So WWF, as they were elevating into even further greatness at that point of just ratings dominance, WCW and ECW were they kept falling backwards. So I would just watch WWF because I was like, oh, this is all I have right now. That's what it really felt like at the time. Despite having, the ability to watch WCW and ECW at the time, it just wasn't the same at all. So I put all my eggs in the WWF basket at this point. So, and I mean, rightfully so. You said it, the mid-card was a lot more improved. and just like a few months prior to this, really it was the Radicals coming over that felt like it changed everything in terms of the mid card. So you had matches that meant something before the main event, where in 99, 98 definitely didn't feel like that, especially 97, 96. You just go back. It really didn't feel like the last time I cared about the mid card was like 92, basically. And I was like a tyke back then. But yeah, like I was just kind of along for the ride, at this point. It's like WWF could do no wrong, no matter what they did. And I was like, I wasn't super into, the stuff like Too Cool or even like Edge and Christian back then. I was just kind of like, I watched it because I had to, because it was there. But like I was more interested in like the triple threat match for the European title heading into it. The Shane McMahon matches I didn't really care for, but I just knew you would get like a moment. So I would always be like, oh, I wonder what Shane's going to do there. Obviously, Benoit versus Jericho was a match that I'm sure everybody was looking forward to. And of course, I'm a mark for the Iron Man match. So I was kind of hyped for that to see how they would do it. And you said it was the second Iron Man match WWF did, like, especially on pay-per-view. I'm like, oh, like we'll probably get another 0-0, sudden death overtime. But I had read before that in the weeks leading up to this on TV, they kept saying like no overtimes. So I was like, oh well, maybe it'll be like 1-0, at the end or whatever. And boy, was I in for like the final tally was 6-5. Are you kidding me? 11 falls in 60 minutes. Like I remember being like, I remember thinking, oh, this isn't good just because of there was 11 falls. But back then, I didn't really follow a story through Iron Man matches. I just kind of waited to the end. But that's why I appreciate them more now. That's why really they're my favorite type of match to watch in wrestling, just because of the stories told throughout the course of 60 minutes in one match. So I actually really, really love this Iron Man match. And it's funny because 20 plus years ago, 26 years ago, I probably would have told you that I hated it just because it was 6-5, and I was like, that's ridiculous. Overbooked best, blah blah blah. All the buzzwords and whatever. But you actually sit down and watch it, you're like, okay, like I understand what's going on here. So, obviously the maturity of the human brain happens 26 years later. Because I haven't watched that match. I think I might have watched that one other time after it happened before I watched it again for this show. So yeah, like a lot of different things moving, different parts moving here for the WWF. Just it was so easy to just take it for granted back then, like I did.
Yeah, it was a good time, and this Iron Man match far different from the first one, and we'll talk about it. Just how different it is. Not just by the number of pinfalls, neither. There's a lot of different things going on. I definitely think they utilized the time more efficiently, we can say, than Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, who took their sweet time.
I told you, man, like the first half hour of that one was boring. And then they finally picked up. But I would be lying to you if I said I felt the same way watching this one. I don't think it was boring at all.
No, we'll talk about it. But let's first talk about the stage for this show as we get into it, which was very basic. Yeah. I'm honestly disappointed because it's not like they didn't have unique stages, at this time. Because Backlash the month prior is iconic. Like, people are still talking about the swinging scythes, on the stage or whatever. But this was just looks like the Raw stage with like some fencing and the ramp removed. And I guess they did have the logo mounted on some scaffolding on each side, but that was about it. Nothing much there. I feel like they had better at various times throughout this year, and this might be at the bottom of the list for stages of 2000. We haven't ranked them obviously, but now I'm thinking about it off the top of my head, trying to recall visually and mentally. This might be the worst. I don't know. First thing we see on the show is the McMahon family, because why not? It's the McMahons. Gotta see him. And then we also got Gerald Briscoe in the scene as he's wearing the Hardcore Championship, and he's nervous, and Vince is trying to rally the troops and run down all the matches that the members of the McMahon Helmsley faction are in. And it's like, bro, can we just get to a damn match? I don't need the rundown from Vince about what's going on. And they also use it as a setup for Gerald Briscoe to get jumped by the Headbangers as he's fetching coffee for the McMahons. Because, again, he's the Hardcore Champion. He has to defend that title 24/7, 365. And we see a lot of Gerald Briscoe throughout the show on this night. I don't know if it's it's among my top 9 wrestling happenings for sure. It's not my top, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. And then we get a look at Shawn Michaels wearing his Hoochie Daddy shorts, walking around the building. We even got visuals later on of Triple H clowning him for the shorts. Like, you gonna wear these shorts out there, bro? You really gonna do that? These shorts are crazy. And he eventually just untucked his shirt during the match. So now it looks like he has no pants on. Because before he was tucked, he had the shirt tucked in, so you can see the shorts. Now, untucked, can't see him. But let's get to our format. Match of the night, worst match of the night, best non-wrestling happening, worst non-wrestling happening. Any hidden gems there? You got any? Maybe, perhaps. How about best spot, worst spot, my dog spot, and of course, I got a slew of random thoughts that I might have to reorganize here. I got a lot of them, good chunk of them. Because there's a lot to talk about from this show. But, Nick, I want to start with you. What was your match of the night from Judgment Day 2000?
The Iron Man match between The Rock and Triple H. Again, you follow the story being told, and it makes sense. They are giving you action pretty much right from the jump. And the issue I did have the beginning of the match we're like 10 minutes in, right? There's like 50 minutes left in the match, and you already have Jerry Lawler saying Shawn Michaels has called it right down the middle, and JR agreeing with him. And I just like, that annoyed the crap out of me. Because I'm like, listen. And like JR even said, maybe we overthought the Shawn Michaels element during this match. And it's like literally it was in August of 99 where this exact scenario happened with Shawn Michaels as the referee, and he turned on The Rock. He super kicked The Rock. The first episode of SmackDown. The first weekly episode of SmackDown.
Yeah.
What? Why are we trying to bait the audience and telling them, oh, you know what, like, we're 10 minutes into a 60-minute match. Maybe Shawn Michaels isn't going to be an issue. That just annoyed me because, like, especially Jim Ross, like, I get Lawler trying to, like, he was like a tweener, at this point. He wasn't like super heel, so he could have easily just take, like, you know what, like, Shawn Michaels called it right down the middle. You could still have JR remain impartial and say, like, well, we're only 10 minutes in, King. Like, we still got quite a ways to go. Let's not forget what happened, the last time this scenario played out. So I was just kind of annoyed that they ignored that. Like, I thought maybe they would, allude to it, but they didn't. So that annoyed me. That was like the worst thing about the match to me. Obviously not a big deal, but he, like 10 minutes in, like you couldn't wait till at least a half hour in, that maybe this would make sense to me. But I really thought it was funny after Triple H pinned The Rock with a pile driver, by the way, and so J.R. Lawler questions what he would do if he was Triple H, or he would say, like, if I was Triple H, I would, and J.R. kept, like, completing his sentences. He'd be like, play defense, like, back up, play defense. Like, he was up 3-1, I think, at that point. And Lawler was like, you sure you never wrestled before? Like, to Jim. And he says, well, just made the English language a couple times. So I thought that was pretty funny. Little self-deprecating humor there from JR. So I enjoyed that little, thing from him. And we had, the exact move, by the way, when The Rock gave the people's elbow to Triple H, the placement of Shawn Michaels. The thing where I'm like, oh my god, like watching it live, I'm like, he's gonna kick him again. He's gonna kick him again, and he literally gets into position to kick him, but then he moves, and The Rock finishes the people's elbow for the pin. I believe that was to tie it up. I don't remember exactly if that was to tie it up.
Yeah, I do have some notes from the match as far as
5-5. Yeah, it was. Okay.
Yeah, we get the first fall only 11 minutes in to the match. It's The Rock getting the first decision. We waited up until overtime to get a fall from the last one, and this one, 10 minutes in, boom, we got the first fall. The Rock and Triple H are fighting into the crowd early on, which again, the first one kept the match pretty much to the ringside area only. They didn't fight into the crowd that I can remember, and mostly in the ring. Meanwhile, they're outside of the ring. They're fighting up to the stage and everything else. It's a lot going on. I did like The Rock working on. I should say, I agree with you. This is the match of the night. But The Rock working on Triple H's knee, which I thought was a nice touch, or his leg. It's his leg, right? Or his knee. You didn't see The Rock work a body part too often. So I think that was a little wrinkle there. But just when it looked like The Rock was in control with a figure four, Triple H kicked him into the turnbuckle and immediately hit him with a pedigree to tie it up at 1. And then a couple minutes later, he hit The Rock with an inside cradle and took a 2-1 lead. I thought that was tremendous. And then, like you said, Triple H hit a pile driver to go up 3-1 with only 27 minutes left in the match. So huge deal there. The Rock hit a botched tornado DDT that still kind of looked pretty cool, actually, when he kind of recovered it to make it 3-2. Then Triple H gets himself disqualified to tie the score at 3, then turn right around and pinned Sleeping Rock with his feet on the ropes. Somehow Shawn Michaels did not see this.
How about that?
To take the lead back at 4-3. Then, as Triple H, now Rock, I should say, is bleeding now, so we got that. Triple H then goes up 5-3 when he puts The Rock to sleep with only 12 minutes left. So it's desperation time for The Rock. Rock eventually hits a pedigree on an announce table. That's one of my best spots of the night, even though the table did not break. But The Rock then used a 10 count, or he got into the ring to make sure that Triple H counted out to get to 5-4 with under 5 minutes. Then The Rock tied it up with the people elbow that you mentioned with under 2 minutes to go. And that's when all hell breaks loose because the McMahons are out here. Triple H had sent them to the backstage area earlier. He said, I'm going to do this by myself. I don't need y'all help.
Yeah, he did it stupid baby.
I don't want y'all to do this.
I'm like, what the hell?
Well, they came back out anyway. Them, the McMahons and DX and the whole thing. And then that creepy vignette is playing again on the screen while DX is just beating the daylights out of The Rock. Like, they hit him with a chair. They could have pinned him 2 or 3 times in that span. But the creepy video's playing now. And all of a sudden, some dude on a motorcycle comes roaring down to the ring. You're like, what? Who the hell is that? That's got to be Mark Calloway. It's got to be. It's The Undertaker on a motorcycle without makeup or black hair or black. He's wearing denim. And he's got a bandana on. His hair's red.
Is that, yeah.
Who the hell is
red
this?
Hair? What the hell?
Who's this guy? He comes in and starts whooping all kinds of ass, all right? As he gets into the ring, I think, was it as he got into the ring, Triple H hit The Rock with a pedigree? He's like, you know what? And I want to fight you and all, but you're going to eat this pedigree first. Bow! Undertaker gets in, he beats up everybody. The crowd is going crazy. There's 30 seconds left. Time is ticking down. Undertaker then hits Triple H with a chokeslam and a tombstone. But the only problem is Shawn Michaels sees this, he's the referee. And he didn't see everybody whooping up on The Rock because the McMahons actually took him out. But when he gets back up, he sees The Undertaker. He's probably like, who's this strange man in the ring? I don't even recognize him. But he's already got like Triple H up in a chokeslam. Boom! And then hit him with a tombstone. Shawn Michaels sees all of this and disqualifies The Rock as time expires, giving Triple H the win 6-5 and the WWF Championship. That was, I thought, an overbooked mess that worked brilliantly.
Agree.
So,
Agree.
2 months in a row, they had run-ins and a surprise return. I guess Steve Austin wasn't necessarily a return as much, but The Undertaker was back full time now, and they did it with the babyface winning 1 month, and the next month with the heel winning, and they literally flipped it back again the next month, but this time it was the heel, and the way it all kind of calamitously came together with the run-in and then the Undertaker. Well, I say the run-ins from the McMahon Helmsley faction with them, and then the Undertaker, and the timing of it all with the clock running down, and he disqualifies him, and it's just like all of a sudden you have to wait for the announcement, and it's like and new, and people are like, oh hell no, what? What do you mean he got disqualified?
The Undertaker looking at Shawn Michaels like it was SummerSlam '97 all over again.
Fans are booing, and the McMahons are running out of the arena with the belt. And
I swear, Vince is so unintentionally funny, or maybe it's intentionally funny, where he's just walking with Triple H. Everyone's like hugging, propping Triple H up, and he's holding the belt. And he's just like, yes, 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 yes. And it's like, what the hell is he doing, man? Like,
what's wrong with him?
So funny, unintentionally.
This is your
or
company.
Like,
don't you own this place? Why is this the source of power in your company? But whatever. When you think about it, it doesn't make any sense. He's a brilliant villain, but it's like he could just fire these people. You got to win back the title. It's your title. It's your belt. Fire him. You don't want The Rock to have it? Fire him. It doesn't make any sense.
The one thing I'll give him though is I think it was before Judgment Day of '98, where Austin was still the champion and Vince was just coming into his heel persona, and it was either late summer, early spring, early fall. He had said, "The reason I don't fire Austin is because he makes me richer," and I'm just like, okay. That makes sense. But still, like, come on. So, like, I kept remembering that as things like this played out, where he was, trying to get the best of, the baby faces or whatever. And I would still be like, listen, is it worth it, though? Like, I mean, like, just because they sell merch and make you richer, like, just fire them.
But the thing is, can't you find somebody else that also makes you rich? Like, or
right, exactly.
You know what makes you richer? If Homeboy is the champion.
Right.
It makes you more rich. So maybe you should do it that way. Let them keep winning. But whatever. It's
funny because like even as
money.
a teen, like a early teen, I was like, okay, that makes sense. But I still hated Vince regardless. But it's like, okay, like because for months I'm like, why? Like he wants this corporate champion, and Austin's clearly not it. Why doesn't he just fire him?
Just fire him.
Yeah.
Just get rid of him. It's okay. But whatever. But yeah, that was tremendous. Tremendous ending. A lot of heat. Everybody's over. Everything matters. And the Undertaker's back.
Yeah,
with a whole new persona, a whole new look.
Too.
Yeah, I think it was September '99 he left, something like that. October, somewhere around there, and he was still doing the whole ministry kind of look and deal.
Mm-hmm. He was like a tag team with Big Show or something.
Yeah, I think that might have been earlier in the year. Yeah, I don't know if that was at that time when he left or if that was earlier in the year. I do remember that because they were going against like X-Pac and Kane.
Yeah.
And that was WWF's tag team division in 1999. Just thrown together teams with no real continuity whatsoever. But by, I think, late in the year, I think they were done already with that. But I could be wrong. But either way, he's back now, and he's not the Undertaker we grew up watching.
No.
Which is a jarring change when you really think about it. Like, at the time, I guess now we're just used to it. We know that there's Biker Taker and there's Dead Man Undertaker, but there was no such thing as anything else but the Undertaker. He's the dead man. So to see him, just to see him out of, like, the look, it was, like, striking. It's like, whoa. And then to see him, like, just completely shed that whole persona, and he's just a normal dude now. Like, he's alive. He's not dead anymore. It's a miracle. Right? It was quite jarring.
And I remember being hyped about it, like on the message boards, they're like same old from The Undertaker. And then finally, like, we have a new character, like same name, but like a different character that, like, okay, it's not the same old stuff anymore. So let's see what this is about. And I just remember being really hyped about it because it's like, oh, something different. About time for someone like that, who at this point it had been 10 years, almost 10 years of The Undertaker, the dead man. And it's like, all right, like you went through some iterations, some different outfits here and there, but how about a whole different persona? And this was that. And I remember, a lot of excitement surrounding it, just because it was different.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like I brought up The Undertaker a lot when I talked about like Charlotte and how she needed like some type of shift in tone or something, because everybody changed. And if there's ever a case for someone to not change their persona whatsoever, it would have been The Undertaker. Yeah. Like that was money, and it proved to be money for 30 years. As far as obviously he was the biker guy for a couple years, but he went back to the dead man and he made a ton more money, and they sold a lot more merch, and then they had the streak, and that was huge.
Yeah.
So there's ever a case for somebody to be like, I think I'm gonna stick with this, it would have been him, and even he changed at some point. So I think it would behoove people at some point in their career to kind of have like just a shift in tone.
And what's funny? I did read something earlier today. Apparently, I didn't listen to this interview, but Kevin Nash apparently said this in the past, that the reason he wanted to do that is because he was in negotiations with WCW at the time, and that if he were to jump ship, he obviously would have needed something different than the Undertaker, and so this was like what he would have been had he gone. And then obviously Undertaker says, I was never jumping ship to WCW as a response to that. But, like who knows? He said, but, you had to be really confident that this would work. One, if you're the Undertaker, and two, if you're Vince McMahon, because like the war's not over yet. Technically, you still have WCW there, and ECW is still alive. So, I think the mid card coming over and kind of like you having a mid card now, maybe you're okay with that shift for one of the biggest characters you've had the last decade, because you have such a almost basically complete roster. You have Austin coming back later this year too, so like maybe you're just like, all right, like we have the cachet to try new things at this point. So maybe that was part of it too. I don't know, but definitely, something that I didn't know how I would react if, like, I saw The Undertaker in a different light than what he was, the first 10 years being in WWF. But, like, for me, it worked at that point. Eventually, I got tired of this biker gimmick by, like, I think 2002. I was just, like, over it. But
that's fair.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, it worked. I think that character worked for the time that it was around. Obviously, it's not nearly on the same level as the Dead Man Undertaker, but I think for the time period, I think the Undertaker, the biker guy, was a great character, honestly. Like, if you could clone the guy, you could have both the Dead Man and the biker guy, but you can only be one at a time, unless you create the gimmick of, like, was it Abyss and Chris Park, where he kind of has a split personality. Yeah, that would have been interesting. He shows up like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I didn't do none of that. Like, you rode down here in a motorcycle last week and hit me with a lead pipe. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm the Dead Man, sir. I am just a dead man, sir. I don't even own a motorcycle. I'm dead. I'm a zombie. Why would I own a motorcycle? It was you. You're gonna dye your hair, and now it's not you.
Sorry, I was working at the funeral home. Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, sir, I was building coffins. Like, that's my job as an undertaker. I drive a hearse, not a motorcycle. The hearse is my primary mode of transportation, sir. Wasn't me. That's really dumb. Let's move on, though, to honorable mention. I did have the Intercontinental Championship match, the submission match between Jericho and Benoit. I thought that whose knee brace was it? Was it it was Benoit's knee brace. I thought using the knee brace was genius. Mm-hmm. I love the finish of Jericho taking it off and trying to attack Benoit, but then Benoit used it to escape the walls of Jericho because he knocked Jericho upside the head with it. And then that led to the crossface, which caused Jericho to pass out not tap out, but you can see him mouth the words of the official, ring the bell, and then magically the bell rings. So, but
How do you need a
after the
referee?
match,
Why shouldn't the referee no? But whatever.
he's following orders.
This is the end of the match. Okay.
JR tried to sell it like kind of similar to Austin at WrestleMania 13, and he was like, he passed out, he didn't tap out, and they even played Jericho's music at the end to kind of like congratulate him, I guess, give him a round of applause for getting choked out fair and square by Benoit.
Man, this is loser crap, man. Get this out of here.
By getting put to sleep. Good night. So
I don't think they even played Austin's theme after that.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did because he hit the.
He hit the stunner.
When he got up, he hit the stun on the ref. Yeah, and I think they played the music after that.
Oh.
Just a lot of stuff going on, but the match itself was really good though. It was a great match.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. These two had really good chemistry.
Match. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought their backlash match was good. They raised the stakes with this one. Then I think they split these two apart. Because I don't think they had a match at King of the Ring, did they? I don't recall. But I do know by July they were at Fully Loaded in separate matches. Yeah. Because of course
trying to make new main eventers.
Right, and they beat them all.
Kurt
they had Benoit. They had Benoit against The Rock for the world title. They had Jericho against Triple H in what was it, like a last man standing match, I think it was.
Yeah.
And of course, Kurt Angle against
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker. So, and they all lost. So, there's that. Moving on to did you have honorable mention by the way?
That's my honorable mention. Yeah.
Okay, it's really the only match that's worthy of being an honorable mention. But let's move on to the worst match of the night here.
Ooh.
What did you have for the worst match of the night from Judgment Day 2000, good sir?
Actually, tough for me because with the mid card being better, I didn't think there was like a bad match on this card, but the one I least enjoyed was the tables match. Even though some of the table spots are fun, but DX at this point does nothing for me. Road Dogg and X-Pac were like go away heat with me. I did not care one lick about them.
It was strange. Obviously, Billy Gunn I think is injured at this point, so he's not around. But it was strange to see Road Dogg and X-Pac with Tori as like the DX tag team.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a second, man.
And like DX,
where is Billy?
And DX was together too. It's weird, but like Triple H wasn't like DX though. He was McMahon Helmsley. It was like two different factions in one faction. It was weird.
When he needed help though, DX was out there.
They were there.
He wouldn't do like suck it with them a lot. He wasn't. He wasn't wearing the DX merch all that much. I think they created like new merch for this version of DX that wasn't like the classic DX merch.
Right.
But he wasn't like having people flash the crowd or telling people to suck it. He would. But they didn't do the whole pre-match deal. He was the game, like you said, and DX is pretty much his henchman at this point. That's what DX was before that all ended. But
I just did, like against the Dudleys too, and I kind of liked the Dudleys, but they were still basically waiting for their feud with Edge and Christian and the Hardys to really take off before they started becoming like a prominent part of my enjoyment of watching WWF weekly. And just having like Gerald Briscoe get involved to basically cost the Dudleys a match, I was like, you need this. To me, watching it live, I'm like, this old geezer really costs these prime, Dudley boys a match. Like it's too not believable. I thought it was bad, so I didn't like the finish. Didn't like Road Dogg and X-Pac. So yeah, it's just sorry, I didn't enjoy this at all.
Yeah, I had, as far as worst match, I didn't have this one. I thought at least the table spots were fun enough to make it interesting. I had the 6-man tag between Acolytes and no, is that this show? No, I didn't have a worst match of the night. Wait a second here. I got this from I didn't add it to my notes. I had a match though. I definitely had a match that's worst match of the night. Hang on, bro. I thought I had this listed here. I've obviously watched this show. Let me go back and look at the list of matches here so I can actually pick one that I would qualify
it's a
as
hard
the
one.
worst match
It's
of
a
the
hard
night. It is a tough one. But now that you mention it, man, yeah, I go with the the 6-man tag, the actual 6-man tag on the show.
Yeah.
That could be a candidate, but it is tough because they were over. Everybody was over.
All right.
I'd have to go to tables match too. Now that I think about it, oof, that's a tough one. Yeah, let's go with the tables match. I don't know why I didn't list that for some reason. I thought like 6-man tag, Acolytes and the Midian. I was like, wait a second, they're not.
That was from Backlash
hard
99.
in 2000. What? But yeah, let's go with the tables match. I'll agree with you on that one. You know what? I'm gonna just talk about it now because I do have a lot of notes about Bubba Ray Dudley.
How about it?
All right, because look here, I see why JR called the Dudley Boys those damn Dudleys. All right,
Dude, and they even called themselves the damn Dudleys too. So that really cracked me up. It's like I'm surprised it wasn't on the Chiron.
you know those damn Dudleys are always up to no good and wreaking havoc. Like, can you imagine like living in a nice, quiet neighborhood and suddenly it gets turned upside down because those damn Dudleys moved in, and they don't have no friends. They just bully everybody.
Yep.
They bully your mama, your cousin, and your grandma too. They bully everybody, and they were hella hostile towards women.
Very.
Like they literally put women through tables. Old women, grandmas. They were insane. Bubba Ray Dudley was insane, bro. We don't talk about this enough. Okay? And how they made Bubba Ray Dudley go into a trance when he would just look at a woman that he wanted to put it through a table. He would just become entranced with committing violence against women. Not because he's really attracted to them, because he wanted to hurt them. And they built entire storylines around Bubba's pursuit of a woman to put through a table. Okay? Because just a month prior, at Backlash, the whole story with the Dudley Boys was that he wanted to put Trish Stratus through a table. And they had a match with TNA where I don't even know if they won the match. I think they lost, technically. But you know what happened? Bubba Ray Dudley got to put Trish through the table, and everybody's like, yay! And he had this giant smile on his face after he did it. He's like, yes, finally. And it's like, what? Strange stuff in hindsight.
Yeah.
Okay? Strange stuff in hindsight. Which is, again, why they are, in fact, those damn Dudleys. They are those damn Dudleys. Because talk about scaring the hoes. Good Lord. It's those damn Dudleys. So, yeah. That's what I have about the worst match of the night.
Godfather be like, I'm not getting in a match with those guys. No, sir.
Steer clear of them. It's like that SpongeBob meme when you see the lady, like the mom pulling her fish away, her child fish away from Squidward in the background looking crazy. Looking back like, oh my God. That was the Dudley Boys. You got to watch out for them, bro. They was wilding. And at this time of the career, it was wilding, bro. But let's move on to best non-wrestling happening. I have a hilarious one here, but Nick, I'll start with you.
The Jug Band.
I mean, obviously, right?
5 second pose.
Obviously,
I forgot
right?
this happened. So and then he like pulls out. Kurt Angle has like the banjo, or is it Edge that has it? I don't remember. But the teeth, when they add the teeth in, that just puts it over the top, man.
They show Edge's face with the teeth, and he crosses his eyes. Jerry Lawler loses it.
Yeah.
He can't even contain himself. Look.
That added to it too, like with Lawler, like just the pitch of his voice, like just getting higher and higher and higher.
I think that was a genuine reaction. I think he legit was like, "Yo, look what they do."
Like you know, JR is probably cracking up, but he can't. You know, like it's not his job, right? So he's probably like, "This is great."
And then Edge gets the mic and goes, "Hope y'all liked it." Hope y'all liked it. It's crazy. Oh man, that's classic. That's one of the best non-wrestling happenings of all time. Since we've done this segment, this might be number one.
It's
bro.
like, is that Kurt Angle's first one with them too? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Just
it
having
might
him
be.
involved too. Like,
Kurt Angle is so silly.
It's too good, man.
It's so damn silly.
This pairing always like paid off for me. Like
really
this
good
was
stuff.
appointment TV for me whenever those three were on screen together.
They're just complete goofballs
Yeah.
who got to be goofballs together. And Kurt Angle is the biggest goofball of them all. And he's also the one who's the Olympic gold medalist who would tear people limb from limb. But he will put on that cowboy hat and go, yippee-ki-yay, in no time.
But even like
I'm a sexy Kurt. Sexy. I'll make your ankle hurt. Like, what?
like just even Christian saying Louisville instead of Louisville. Like just
And they booed him so hard.
yeah, like
he got the
like,
most heat of the night.
the littlest thing that they're probably sitting in the back and like Christian's just like, yeah, I'll say Louisville and it'll piss them off, like just something that you wouldn't expect. And that's what they did every week practically on TV, no matter where they were. They would just I got to go back and watch some of the Philly shows to see what they did when they were in Philly, because I don't remember off the top of my head now, but I'm sure they had some good ones.
Yeah, I don't remember if they did Philly at all, but I remember the one they did in Boston. I think that was at is that King of the Ring the next month when they did the one with Bill Buckner. And who was it? Somebody, I think it was Christian, reached between his legs and then came back and was like, God. He reached all the way between his legs. This one was so good. The Jug Man. Jerry Lawler's reaction,
And
man,
always, like,
takes it over the top.
Imagine watching this now, and people will be like, "What the hell is flash photography?" like,
That's
like just
straight up.
the phrase he used for those with the benefit of flash photography. Like
That was like old timey in 2000 even.
Right.
I mean, even though flash photography was still a thing, obviously, but like it even sounded the old school
He
back
could
then.
have just said for those with camera, but no, for the benefit of those with flash photography.
For those that don't know, if you're too young to remember, flash photography was, well, I guess you still have flash on your phone, so I guess you know what that is. Never mind. But it's not. You still have a flash on your phone. But yeah, flash photography. The Jug Band is too good. Too good. I will say honorable mention here is all the stuff with Jerry Briscoe sneaking around.
That's my hidden gem. Because I totally forgot it happened. Like the
I
Jerry
did
Briscoe
too.
stuff. So I liked
I did
all
as
of
well.
it. Like you said, all of it. I think there were like 3 segments, right? So
Yeah.
just in
I just
general-
realized that I had that 6-man tag as my hidden gem as well. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
like just Joe Briscoe's paranoia in general was like my hidden gem. We had the going in the officials' dressing room, and like
Yes.
falling asleep, just sitting.
Well, first of all, he wins the title by quietly pinning a sleeping Crash Holly,
Yeah.
whose Crash is sleeping in the APA's quote-unquote office, right? Which is not a great hiding spot when everybody can see you, Crash. So he's sleeping there, and he's so knocked out that Jerry Briscoe just puts a fingertip on him, basically, and the referee quietly counts to 3, and then Jared Briscoe quietly celebrates.
Dude, the funny,
Slow motion.
like
That's
I
classic.
laughed.
That's classic stuff.
I laughed, but wouldn't it have been funnier if the ref just did 1, 2, like real loud? Like I don't know.
Nah, play it out, play it straight the whole time. 1, 2, 3, yeah! Quietly
It looked
celebrate.
like he was doing it in slow motion too.
Yeah, he was.
It's like no, just silently. Like not. You don't need to do it in
Nah.
slow motion.
Do it slower. If you do it too fast, you run the risk of waking them up. Then you got to do it slower. You don't want to wake them up. That reminded me of I don't know if you ever seen The Other Guys with Will Ferrell or Mark Wahlberg.
Not, but I heard of it. I've heard of it actually, but I have not seen it.
Okay, it's hilarious. But there's a scene where they're like at a funeral and they're like bickering amongst each other and they quietly argue at the funeral, and then Michael Keaton is like the police sergeant or whatever. He comes in and chastises them quietly. They was like, "You guys at the funeral, you're arguing right now." It was like in front of everybody, and they're quietly. That's what I thought of when I saw Jared Briscoe quietly, peacefully win the Hardcore Championship. But that's the most peace he'd have all night, because he's walking around getting jumped by the headbangers. Again, all the let me reiterate. All the mid-carders from 98, 99, they're in the hardcore division right now, pretty much. Except Val Venus. He's somehow challenging for the IC title. And he wins it pretty soon, I think. But we later see Gerald Briscoe. He's talking to Michael Cole, and he sees like a soda vendor in the background, and they're like plotting on him. Like you can see them in the background, like, "Hey, yo, like I'm gonna win the hardcore championship." And a referee just so happens to be walking by. He's like, "Hey, can you help me out? I'm just a vendor you never met before, but I'm trying to be hardcore champion." And the referee's like, "Okay, let's do it, dude. I've never met." But Briscoe peep game. He's like, "Oh, what?" And kicked the deuce drinks out of in the air or something like that, and broke up out of there. Got up out of there, man. And then he's sneaking around, trying to avoid people, and he's pretty much afraid of his own reflection at one point. He's just so scared. And then he runs
bathroom, and he looks in the mirror.
Then, like you mentioned, he goes to the official's office, and he's just trying to, just like, "Hey, please let me get some sleep. I need to rest." Why would he go back to the McMahon office? That's
that or the hotel. Like, get out of here, man.
I guess he couldn't just leave. He had a job to do, I guess, but. Go to the McMahon's office. Nobody should be pinning you there. Why are you hanging out with the officials? And then he's sleeping, sitting up, and all of a sudden he's just like, no, you're going to pin me too. And it's like, what? He just wakes up out of his own sleep. He wasn't even safe around the referees, apparently. So, yeah, that's Jerry Briscoe and the day of his life of being the hardcore champion. So, yeah, what did you have we did best non-wrestling happening. How about a worst non-wrestling happening?
It kind of hard to come up with one for this, but I decided to go another world title change. Just for what? And again, like you said earlier, The Rock's just going to win it back the next month. Just the hot potato world title. Again, back then, didn't really care about it. I still kind of don't mind it if you're in a feud and you interchange it with two guys in a feud here and there. Obviously they did with Cody and Drew this past year, but just like at some point it's too much, especially if you're doing it every month. And I don't really remember seeing anything where I have a worse spot, but maybe a couple of them, like the worst non-wrestling happening. Kind of hard for me to pinpoint one, so I just went with that.
Yeah, I was gonna go with just Bubba Ray Dudley and how weird he was. just a weirdo, bro. You gotta stay away from him. Yeah. Back in 2000, he's just.
It's like Devon. Come on, Devon. Like get him straight. Come on.
Get your mans, bro. Get your mans. It's impossible to run a 2-man with Bubba Ray Dudley from 2000. I'm just saying. The 2-man was not 2-man, at least the character. Maybe in real life, but the character, no, it's a wrap. Not happening. Let's move on to Hidden Gems. I have, like I said, the 6-man tag, Kurt Angle, Edge and Christian versus Too Cool. Sure, this match could have been on TV, but this was a lot of fun because everyone was so damn over.
Over.
Everybody.
You don't see this reaction today for really even the most over people. That's the crazy part about it. Does Cody get this reaction from like the beginning all the way through the match to the end? The crowds are so different today too than they were back then. But like, man, you watch these shows from like 2000, even like the 90s, 2001, 2002. It really wasn't until like for me, like maybe even 03, 04, you had like the crowd into things, but this was like the crowd reaction for like the 2000, like just everyone was over. It's crazy that you didn't really hear non-reactions for people the way you do today.
Yeah, it was different. It was different. When Too Cool they weren't even a tag team champions. That was crazy.
I still have no idea how they got super over.
They were, though, man.
Even without Rikishi, they were pretty over because of the dancing. But then when you add Rikishi to that, it just went to another level.
Yeah. It was... If you weren't watching at this time, that's the only way I can say you could kind of understand it. You'd have to go back and watch Raw and SmackDown from 2000 to see the night-to-night reactions of Too Cool.
Yeah.
which made it weird to see Rikishi go in the Hall of Fame by himself, because he would not be there without Too Cool, without Scotty 2 Hotty and Grandmaster Sexay kind of bringing him on board to that team. And he helped it. He turned it up, but like they gave him the vehicle. And they, as a trio, you watch this show back and here, you would think they're the rock stars, bro.
Right.
The Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudley Boys are on the roster. And Too Cool got the loudest reactions.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hardy Boys, I'm sure, would have rivaled it at this time. Obviously, the Hardy Boys were super popular in 2000. But Too Cool was right there as far as if you went decibel for decibel, let's say, right?
Yep.
Whew. Go back and watch these shows, and you'll see. It's like you said, it's not just Rikishi. It is that trio of Too Cool.
And it's crazy because
wildly over.
They will pop for, the after the match dancing, but there was no dancing except, like, Rikishi didn't dance in the entrance. Like, he just walked to the ring, did his thing, and then he wouldn't dance till after the match. He didn't dance until he put
the shades on.
And they would still pop that loud for that because, maybe in the crowd's mind, they're like, oh, we're going to see Rikishi dance after this or something.
And we're going to see a steak face.
Yeah, that too. A big part of it, which, he got in during this match as well. I guess a welcome to WWE gift for Kurt Angle. But, because he's, 6
months,
7 months in.
7 months, yeah.
But, it's just, I back then, like, I didn't care, but it's obviously something to be said when you get reactions like that of why you're continually put in positions like that.
Yeah.
So even though I might have not cared for the dancing as much as other people, like, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like one of my favorite parts of the show either. But obviously for a lot of other people, it was.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you heard it.
Yeah.
You heard the reactions when, Too Cool come out. Too Cool would get offense. Like, it was insane how over Too Cool was. And then it just like that fizzled out.
Yep. When
they turned Rikishi heel. And I don't know if it's something happened before that because maybe somebody got injured. I don't know. But when Rikishi turned heel, whew, gone. Like that fast. It's wild stuff. Best spot. Man, there is a lot of good ones here too.
I got a few.
The one I found kind of just the most odd was Bubba Dudley and Road Dogg putting the referee through the table. I was just like, why? Why did they do that? But that's the one that stood out to me the most. But what did you have?
I had a 3, which is funny because 2, one of them I have the worst spot in the same match. But if you see Vince, Shane and Steph come down to the ring, right, at the end of the Iron Man match, Vince gets on the apron and Rock punches him off. Vince takes the most gnarly fall, as Vince is one to do. I think he wants to, like, land on the apron, and he gets his feet tangled up on purpose, I think, just so he can fall on the apron, but he misses the apron completely and falls on the mat, like upper back first, like it was wild to see that type. I was like, dude, that man's hurt. And literally like a minute later, he's on the other side doing whatever spot, is next or whatever. I was like, just his fall to the mat is one of the funniest things I've seen. And again, he did something else when The Undertaker came out. I thought, he confronts The Undertaker, grabs his arm, turns him around. The Undertaker and him are face to face. And he turns around to run away, but then he stops and turns back around. Like he doesn't know what, like, I guess the Undertaker was supposed to grab him or something, but he looks like such a doofus. And the Undertaker hits him with a right hand and he falls to the ground. I was like, dude, 2 spots in literally 1 or 2 minutes that I'm just dying because of just what Vince does. The bumps he takes are some of the funniest things I've seen in wrestling. And 2 of them are right here back to back, which killed me. Just the whole thing with Vince and him taking bumps. And I also have Big Show throwing Shane up against the steel entrance. Dude.
Yeah, that looked
That
gnarly.
was wild.
Yeah, that was gnarly. Because there's no faking that.
No, and he did it on Raw too. They showed like a clip of him doing it to Shane on Raw, and I remember being like, "Oh shit!"
Like he's
I
got to
don't
throw
remember
him.
that.
He's got to throw him, and then he's got to hit it, and then he's got to like the whiplash effect has to take place. And he's got to
Right.
fall.
Yeah,
And all that has to happen,
It's
or else it
crazy.
doesn't look good.
all three of those are my top spots because I enjoyed all three of them.
Yeah, I didn't really have. Did I have a best spot? I guess I had the table spot with the referee. But yeah, that spot of Big Show throwing Shane up against the stage or whatever was. Shane's crazy. He didn't have to take these bumps. He could have did anything. He's rich.
Right.
Like, go save the world or something. Instead, of take these bumps from a giant. Could have done anything. Worst spot. I didn't really have a worst spot that I
it's tough.
remember.
It's a tough one.
Because nothing really like stood out as something I was like, oh no, like I didn't really have anything here, honestly.
I hate sometimes when you're supposed to suspend disbelief when you can no longer suspend disbelief. And it happened in the same Big Show and Shane McMahon match when Test and Albert were, like attacking the Big Show or whatever. And he throws him into the steel set. But either he's super tired or he's just like, no one's going to notice this. When they don't even like forcefully throw the guy, but the guy winds up flying anyway, and it just looks so poor. And both Test and Albert did that when the Big Show kind of like threw them into the entrance. He barely even like touched them, and they're going flying and everything. I was like, yeah. I can't buy that. I'm sorry. I don't like this. Nope.
They still
That's
do that
terrible.
spot, right?
That's terrible.
Every Royal Rumble, when there's a big person, there's like, get on them, and then they go, roar, and people go
I just
flying
hate it.
away.
I just like you can't put in a little more effort to make it look believable. Like, come on.
Well, not on this night, at least. Let's shift gears into the random thoughts. I have quite a few. Did you notice that Kurt Angle's Chiron said American Hero under his name?
I did not, but that's funny.
It said Kurt Angle, American Hero. Like, it's his title, like
I
Intercontinental
miss
Champion.
when everybody had the
American
same Chiron. Like now, certain
Yeah.
wrestlers have their own. Like I don't like that.
I agree with you. I like, it's weird that like I understand like customizing it and it
Right.
kind of adds to the entrance. It gives everybody their own individual, but it's like sports. I'm not used to watching sports like that. I guess I need some consistency in the show that I'm watching, and just like the special Chiron should be made for special people. Not everybody needs their own Chiron.
Like Rusev
I also
has
like-
his own. Like what the hell?
Right, what? It's a lot more people than I would expect. But also, it's like I kind of like seeing the specific event Chirons, too. It's like one less thing they
Yeah.
have to create now.
Right. Yeah.
Because they used to create one for every show. You have a Raw one, a SmackDown one, you have WrestleMania, and every other show has their own individual one.
Yep.
Unless you like The Undertaker. He might get his own.
Dude, the
right?
first entrance of a show, I would always be interested in seeing what it looked like when their names came
Yeah.
up. I'm like, what? How are they going to do this one? Like, that was always like a little thing I enjoyed watching.
Right. I like the customization of it. It makes every show a bit more unique. Are we nerdy because of that? Maybe.
Probably.
Probably. You'd be right to make that assumption, but like I think it's just a little thing. It may be little in the grand scheme of things, but it's just one other thing that kind of removes the specialness from a show. If now, because I see, let's say Rusev, I see his Chiron like that every single week. It's not different. Like it's the same. So I don't know. I agree with you on that. But Kurt Angle's Chiron on this night said American Hero,
That's funny.
which is true. It's damn true. Grandmaster Sexay danced out of his pants during the opening match. Had his tighty whities on underneath. So there's that.
Scott Taylor saying like, "Oh, I got a little one. You got a little one."
That's wild. That's wild. Can't call your man's out like that.
All
For
right.
everybody.
That's a tag
Crazy.
team partner, man.
Right. No wonder they didn't last too much longer after this. Like, I remember that. I remember Judgment Day. Eddie Guerrero and China, we got them on the show. They're in the midst of their time as a couple, and I thought that they just had tremendous chemistry.
They did.
Like, I don't know what it was, but they just worked so well together, and they could have been a tandem for a long time. They could have been what Dom was with Rhea.
Yeah.
It's pretty much they took that playbook, kind of flipped it, changed some things with it, but made it last, and it worked. And I think they had something with China and Eddie Guerrero here that, it lasted while it lasted, but they had something good going there with those two. Another random note is that I forgot that at this time, WWF had an album out. You remember this?
2000. Would that have been Aggression?
Yes, it was. And the reason why I remember this is because Big Show's theme music is different on this night. And it is his song from the Aggression album, which is partly done by Mac 10. I don't know if you know Mac 10. I know Mac 10. Do you know who else is on the song, though? Big Show song in particular.
Method Man?
No.
Run DMC?
Brian Isley knows these people. He might have put one or two of these people on trash bars at some point in the past. But the song is called Big because, Big Show.
Oh.
Obviously.
Got it.
But it was a rapper called K-Mac.
Okay.
Then you had MC8, who was in Menace to Society, which is a classic. We will not be reviewing that on the show because it is a classic, but it is...
Any wrestlers in there?
Let me think about it. I don't think so, but it is, what's the word? Violent? So, yeah, Menace to Society. It's a real guttural movie. It's a great movie, though, in my opinion. But... honestly, classic movie. But it's also got a guy by the name of Boo Capone. Now, Nick, you don't know Boo Capone. Brian Isley listens to this. He does. Because Boo Capone is, you may not know him from music, but you may know him from comedy. Because he is hysterically funny. Okay? He does this show called, or among many things he does, called Roast Me, where a bunch of comedians get together and all they do is just roast each other. And man... some great stuff on there. Specifically, one of the comedians, I don't know if you follow like comedy, but the show Funny AF with Kevin Hart, it's like a comedian kind of talent show kind of deal.
Watched, no.
Well, the person who won has been on Roast Me. So don't want to spoil you or anybody else, but I've knew of him. That's why I first learned about him was from Roast Me. But Boo Capone is on Roast Me, and he's one of my all-time favorites. He says some of the wildest things that just don't make any sense. But somehow when it comes out of his mouth, it's hysterically funny. I don't get it. He just has a gift. He has a knack. All right. He's so funny. But before he was a comedian, he actually carved out a good career for himself as a rapper. And he wound up on the WWF Aggression album in 2000. Doing Big Show song as he lost to Shane McMahon, of all things. But do you remember this album at all?
I do. I was one of the... So whenever I would take... I guess you could call it a mental health break. Back then, didn't really call it. I just called it like relaxing. I would sit on a recliner and listen to music. And sometimes I'd fall asleep. Other times, like 2 hours would pass like that. I would lose track of time. It's just like, oh, snap. Like, I should get up and do stuff. But I would listen to a lot of different CDs that I made, burned or whatever. And obviously, the wrestling theme CDs. Sometimes I would just sit there and listen to Full Metal, WWF The Music Volume 2, Volume 3, and Aggression was part of that as well. So I would listen to, I think the DX theme is the one I listen to the most.
Yes, the album The album was like WWF's first foray into hip hop, pretty much. Like all the other albums were like the theme songs of the wrestlers,
the rock, the rock and
very
roll type thing,
rock heavy, and Jim Johnson's specials, right? Songs that he would create. But this one was very heavily influenced by rap and hip hop. This is like just the rap and hip hop album. And you mentioned we had Run DMC doing DX's theme song, which is, in my opinion, the best song. It's a classic. Like the DX Run
It was
DMC
like
song.
the King of Rock, who, right?
Yeah, that's a
went,
banger.
Yeah. I loved it.
That's a legit banger, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say. Like the
Yeah.
DX theme is iconic, like the regular theme, but the Run DMC version also fire. But I should mention that the album was released on Priority Records, which is a legendary hip hop record label, which has had many people like Mac 10 and Ice Cube and NWA and Snoop Dogg and Master P and a litany of other great rappers have been on that label. So naturally, if you're doing something with Priority and you're going to do something musically, it's probably going to be hip hop based on the roster that they had at one time. And you know, this is the label that distributed Death Row Records. So remember Death Row Records, obviously. Also been involved with No Limit, Rap A Lot, No Limit out of New Orleans, Rap A Lot out of Houston, Rockefeller, Wu-Tang. It's been, it's massive label. But that's why there's such a heavy hip-hop influence on the album. But there's also Kool Keith, Old Dirty Bastard. They did a Mankind song together. We had a Method Man song for The Rock. You're right about Method Man. We had Snoop Dogg and Dub C for Steve Austin. We had Ice-T for Godfather, which was a perfect pairing because
man, I was like, wasn't that the Pimpin' Ain't Easy, man?
Easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. And of course, they had Ice-T come out with Godfather at WrestleMania with the fur coats, and D'Lo Brown is there. Where did D'Lo Brown come from? He a pimp now too with Godfather. The nation is splintered off into a new business.
Right.
They got out of being revolutionaries, now they pimping. This is the opposite of being a revolutionary.
The nation of Pimpin' Nation.
Pimpin' nation. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. And of course, Ice-T was perfect for that because he was a pimp before he got into music. So there's that. That was like, oh, Ice-T's doing it? Well, he's doing Godfather's song. Godfather wasn't going to have a song, and then they got Ice-T. It's like, yeah, you got to do Godfather's song. They also had Redman for Vince McMahon.
Oh, God. Vince McMahon, I forgot. That was the No Chance site in hell, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a remix type. Yeah.
You also had C Murder, Mystical, Razzcast, and many others. So the first hip hop album from WWF was in 2000.
Yeah.
This is when
Remember it well.
it was becoming mainstream.
They would
People
always
was coming around to
They
it.
would always put it on the TV, if somebody was using that theme, they would put like from the song title and then from
Yes.
aggression, so. But I definitely I would get those albums pretty early, like practically within a month of release. I remember I would go to the mall. Sam Goody, man, would always have them.
Sam Goody,
So
man.
I would usually get them there.
Listen to a sample first in the aisle with the headphones, bop your head. Oh, I like this. Ooh, how much does CD cost? Look at the back. Right, listen to it. Look at the track list. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Oh, this be good with these studio quality headphones they let you use.
Dude, I even
Man,
got
the good old
like
days.
a wrestling theme CD that was basically a poor man's version of like themes. Something I'd never heard of before, but I saw it was illustrated, like somebody drew cartoons or whatever for the cover, and I don't remember. I don't know if it's a Slammin' Wrestling Hits or something like that. And they were just like basically lyricless versions of themes that had lyrics, or like the beats were completely different. Like it almost, if you remember the Midi files, MIDI, they would just sound so different than like the real themes. Like the quality would be like so much less, and that's what it felt like those themes were. And I remember like listening to it on my CD player. I was like, what the hell is this? But I would literally, if there was a wrestling album available, I bought it. Like I wish I still had all of them, but I don't. But I definitely still have the WWF ones. I'm pretty sure I still have the ECW one. But like these other ones that were so random. Like, man, I bought it. I don't care. Like $20, whatever it was. Even if I hated it when I got home, I was like, well, that was a waste of money. Like, but I still kept it.
As you
But
should.
eventually
Keep your
threw
money.
it. Like, I've moved a lot since then. So somewhere along the way, I got rid of them.
There you go. But WWF Aggression, the album. What a time that was.
Just having the physical like case there too. A lot of the artwork was really cool. So I would just leave it on the table while I was listening to it, just like kind of staring at it. I was like, man, like when I grow up, I'm going to be like a CD drawer for the artwork or whatever. Like I would just like think of these things while I would just sit there, take my mental health break, and just listen to a CD.
I did find it interesting that rarely anyone used the songs from the album as their theme song. Like, only really Big Show did, and DX. I don't remember anybody else using it. I guess Godfather used it for WrestleMania. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Other than that,
Man,
I don't recall off the top of my head anybody using another song from the album as their theme song. But there's that. Lastly, Shane McMahon had a whole slew of people help him to beat Big Show. You mentioned it earlier. Big Boss Man, Tess, Bull Buchanan, so many people. They dropped an equipment case on Big Show, and his sparks started flying, and Shane McMahon came in with a cinder block over top of Big Show's skull. The cinder block broke over his head. Okay? Must have been a cinder block made of sand. Like,
or Big Show's just got a really, really, really hard head.
I guess, because I feel like if something's going to break between a cinder block and a skull, it's going to be the skull.
Yeah.
But the cinder block breaks in this particular case. And then Big Show's out, he loses.
And
he
so funny.
Big Show's just got beat by the boss's son. And it took 3 other people, but still. It still got beat by the boss's son a little more than a year after he got to the company. This is the same guy, by the way, who fell off a building in WCW and still won the world title that night. He hugged the crap out of Hulk Hogan in that match, bro. Hugged him real good. They took Big Show straight into the ambulance on this night without any evaluation. He just knew.
No, yeah.
Everybody just knew he needed a local medical facility. He didn't even get evaluated.
Not even on the stretcher. He just like went in and chilled on the bench.
He just walked. Oh, my leg. Oh, he's crying, wailing. Oh, what a way to make this guy seem scary is to have him crying as he's limping to the ambulance, bro.
Man, he cried a lot during his WWE tenure.
Oh, my leg.
That's wild.
Sons of bees, my leg. Oh.
He did get surgery, but he was back in like 2 months. But I don't remember what he did after that, really.
I don't know, man.
Until he went back to OVW and then came back at some point. But yeah.
It's just tough times. Tough times for the booking of Big Show at this point. Do you have any other random notes, my good sir?
Did you catch the beginning video package where they list a lot of stats that happen in 1 hour?
Yeah.
In 1 hour, 14,849 babies are born. So during that Iron Man match, 14,849 babies were born. 5,936 people died. 8,378 planes took off in the United States.
Wow.
1.23 million passengers contemplated disaster, I guess, on those takeoffs.
How the hell did they get that data?
Times however many seats are on a commercial flight, I
Did
guess.
they actually survey everybody? Like, what?
I guess every single person that goes on a plane contemplates disaster. But
I guess. I mean, if you want to say that, then all right. I mean, I certainly have, for sure.
there were 9,166 lightning strikes on Earth. Everybody blinked 1,560 times. We all thought of sex at least 21 times during that Iron Man match.
How did they know this? You don't know what I was thinking about.
They Googled it, I guess, before Google was Google. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe
How did they collect this data in 2000?
Maybe they used Lycos or something.
This feels like a very flawed poll / study that the WWF conducted, or I don't know, wherever they got it. I question it.
And then we move to the participants, The Rock and Triple H. Their hearts will beat 7,320 times. I don't know if that's each or together, but
that's a good question.
Whatever.
I don't know. But
they
at least
will
you can verify something like that. Jesus.
They will lose 7 pounds, and they will suffer more hits than a quarterback.
How do they know that?
They will suffer more hits than a quarterback will an entire season.
They put that they're going to lose 7
guy.
pounds?
Yeah. Burn some calories.
Also,
man.
you don't know that. You don't know how much weight they're going to lose.
3.5 pounds.
That depends
each,
on
maybe.
the person. Yeah. That don't make any sense. Also, the amount of hits they take as far as a quarterback.
Right. Why did they put that in there?
I mean, why? Also, like quarterbacks, I guess back then quarterbacks were getting smoked in the pocket. So I don't know. I guess it was also a dangerous job still in 2000, where today it's still dangerous, but not to the same level, because they will flag you if you touch the quarterback the wrong way these days. But back then, quarterbacks were still getting their helmets knocked off. So I guess I don't know.
Before the XFL as well. I think Jerry Lawler threw in an XFL reference during this. I don't remember what match, but he definitely threw it in there.
They literally, man, they had, I think he's coaching somewhere. I think his name is Jeff Brom, the quarterback of one team, and he's like, he got knocked like silly in one game. I mean, his helmet was like sideways, and he sleep on the dirt. And then the next week he plays. So obviously the concussion protocol is non-existent, because he played the very next week after being asleep. And then they interview him on the sideline beforehand. It's like, do I have a pulse? Is this the XFL? And let's play football, baby. Like, it actually kind of dope. I'm like, is this not the XFL? Do I not have a pulse? Let's play football. I'm still concussed, but let's play football. 7 pounds. Okay. I will say the video they played before the main event, incredible stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. It really made me feel like I need to go back and watch the TV from this time again.
I really was kind of like sick of The Rock and Triple H too at this point. Because, for me, same with Austin and The Undertaker. Like the build in the summer of '98 to SummerSlam, it just felt like it never ended with Austin and The Undertaker. It felt like they were always feuding. Same with Triple H and The Rock. From the mid-card to now the main event level, it was just like those two. Like I just, that's what I didn't like about it. Back then, it was like, give me someone new in the main event, blah, blah, blah. But, obviously I appreciate it now, and just the feud in and of itself, and then moving from a mid-card feud to a main event level feud. Having, Triple H, of course, having the longest match of the night on a card again.
What? I mean, come on. It is the Iron Man. It is by default. But what? Yeah. You lied.
But it's a fun match. Like, it's a good match. It's not, something like, it's just when you're a teenager or like a kid watching this stuff, you don't care about that. You just care who wins, really. You're just like, all right, like, very rarely did I pay attention to matches back then. I just cared about the ending. And again, I think a lot of people falsely label Iron Man matches like that, where they don't like the 60 minutes because no one cares what happens during the course of a match. It's like, well, if you watch football, you watch the whole game. You don't just come and watch the fourth quarter. Like if you watch basketball,
right.
You don't just watch the fourth quarter. If you watch baseball,
I mean,
you don't just
some
watch
regular
the ninth
season
inning.
games, some regular season NBA games, you could just skip to the fourth quarter sometimes.
Yeah, but but if you're
generally, you're not going to do that,
right? Like, and generally, as a wrestling fan, you as an Iron Man match, like you shouldn't. But I know wrestling's different, but like that's what I don't like that Iron Man matches get like a label like that to where nothing matters until the end anyway. It's like no, man, like
all those points matter,
told.
Bro. They told a lot of stories in the match, in the midst of that. Triple H's leg, then Triple H hits Rock with the chair and all that. Like, told a lot of stories within that match, and everything matters up until that. The points matter. I feel like there must be non-sports fans who feel that way. Like,
I just wish we had more. Matter. Like, The WWE hasn't done one in forever. It's like I'd like to see one. AEW did one 2 years ago. Like, bring it back. Like we could have an Iron Man match once a year in each company. Like, why not? Like,
Well,
I like those.
do you want an 8-hour AEW show? Because I feel like if they do an Iron Man match, they're not gonna just shorten the show all of a sudden. It's just we have all this and then also an Iron Man match. So I don't know if you want AEW to do that.
You could do it on a Dynamite.
You could do it. You could do it on a Dynamite. It's only 2 hours. All you got is 2 hours, and one match is an hour.
And then we'd see an Iron Man match on SmackDown not too long after this, and on Raw. 4 years later, 3 years later with Angle and Lesnar, and then a year later with Benoit, Triple H. Like, you can also do it on TV. Like if you don't want to do it on pay per view. I don't know, but I like the thought of an Iron Man match and how you could tell a story of two participants that are already in a feud. Obviously, you're not going to do it with two guys that are having their first match in an Iron Man match. Like you kind of almost look at that as a blow off. Like kind of like how Steel Cage was or Hell in a Cell is. Like,
yeah,
should be a blow off. So, bring back making Iron Man matches. Every year in pro wrestling or something. I don't know. What was the last one? MJF and Bryan Danielson, right? Was that the last mainstream one that I remember? Yeah.
I can look it up, but I believe so.
And I love that one. It's something about Iron Man matches that just get me. They get me.
Let's see. The most recent one is, hold on here. No, that can't be right. Where is this? What am I looking at here? I'm looking at WW. It's only showing me WWE history. I'm trying to see all of wrestling history. But that makes sense. Let me look up AEW since you mentioned AEW, because the last one WWE has been a long time. But yeah, 2020. Let's see. 2023 was that Iron Man match.
Yeah.
2023. So there is that. Any more random notes? Random thoughts?
Dean Malenko's shoulders weren't on the mat. What the hell? Why's the referee counting 3? Eddie Guerrero got away with one.
Well, he lies, he cheats, and he steals.
Unbelievable. That's why I hate cradle pins. Their shoulders are rarely on the mat. It's like, come on.
That's fair.
Come on.
It's not really on the mat when you do what they call a lateral press. Let's see how we call it.
Haven't heard that in 20 years.
Look, watch an episode of Raw from 2000, you might hear it. A lateral press, not enough of a cover on that one.
Gotta hook the leg.
Anything else though from?
No, I think I have. Oh, Kane being on the poster, but not. I think he was injured. He had a wrist injury. Been. It always cracked me up when. That's why it's why do you have to give these materials away so far in advance? Even in 2000, wasn't technology better to where you could at least wait maybe a month in advance?
No.
I don't know. Come on.
Not that far in advance. Even today, you want to promote a show months in advance, you got to have that stuff ready.
What was Kane going to do?
The assets be deliverables.
What was he going to do? Was he going to be part of the main event somehow?
Oh, whatever. We don't know that. He's going to be there at some point. He's going to be there. But, yeah, you got to have those deliverables ready, man, to promote. This is how it is. Months in advance, even. If you're going to start promoting in the market, you're going to start putting ads in certain places, magazines, whatever, newspapers. Kane it is. Oh, he got hurt? Card subject to change. That's the fine print, brother. Like I said at Backlash, card is subject to change. Same thing it worked with Steve Austin, it can work with Kane. So, all right. With that out of the way, Nick, take us out with some plugs, please.
You could follow me at _Pacone on Twitter and TikTok for my Philly sports and wrestling content. Also on Blue Sky at Pacone and on Threads at Pacone Nick. And you can follow us at Shooters Radio on Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, shooterspod.com, shootersradio.com for all the platforms that we are available on. And you can also catch us on Patreon, which one we'll tell you about.
Yes, patreon.com/shootersradio, where you can subscribe and make a Patreon request. And for a deep dive, just like the one we just had here on episode 464, and when you make that request, not only will we fulfill it, but you can make a cameo on the show that we're diving deep into. Again, patreon.com/shootersradio. Also, I'm at Vaughn M. Johnson on X. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Threads. Check me out on all those platforms if you are so kind. But until next time, for Nick Pacone, I am Vaughn Johnson. Thanks for listening to episode 464 of The Straight Shooters, and we'll catch y'all again next week.
Hey, Clavis, wake up. The show's over. Oh, yeah. Kick it.